What you doing, other nerds? I am the AC, and this is another segment I'm doing just to talk about the non-Japanese media I still enjoy to consume. In particular, I watch a whole lot of zombie stuff. Pretty much any show that I will find that includes zombies, I'm going to watch it. One point being a show I found on Hulu called Zombo. It's kind of dumb, honestly. It's pretty much just these sisters, these two other guys in London somewhere over in England, pretty much just using a boat as their means to take on the zombie apocalypse. It has zombies, so I'll watch it. I can't help it. It's not awful. It's just a little weird and, whatever. And then, of course, I watch Walking Dead. Normally, on this segment, I will talk about the new episodes each week, but I have something else later that I want to talk about. But just a quick thing of what happened in this episode. Negan joins the Whispers. That's pretty much it. I mean, it has a cool moments, of course, as it always does. On the non-zombie side, I have watched Riverdale also. I've always enjoyed that just because it has a little bit of unpredictability for me. I always think I can figure out what's going on, and then they switch it up. This episode this week, Hermione and Hiram get out of prison. One is like, okay, the other one's like, oh no. But then another show I'm watching on Netflix, just finished on Netflix, is Daybreak. Technically not zombies, as they mentioned in the show, but they're zombie-like, ghoul-like, and if you don't know what it is, it's pretty much like Mad Max mixed with Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which, if you watch it, you recognize who the principal is and gives it away. It's like, oh, that's definitely what it is. But it's pretty much everyone over the age 18 turns into these ghouls, almost like zombies, except for if you get bit, you don't turn into one. A couple of them are a little smarter. It plays in the story. What I really liked about this show is it starts off kind of dumb, humorous, even though most of the kids look like they're near 30, whatever. But it actually has some really good characterization as it goes through. And then in the final scene of the last episode of the season is just badass. It has the girl, the main character, has been looking for this whole time. They beat the antagonist of the season, and then she turns on him and is like, I'm in charge now, and he's like, the fuck. So now there's these two separate sides of the hero-heroine deal. Really cool. I recommend checking it out. I watched the entire thing in one sitting. I couldn't stop myself from watching it. Now, what this video is going to mainly be about is my favorite show, The Magicians, had a new little teaser trailer. The Magicians, I could talk about all day, every day, and I pretty much do. All the time, any chance I get. I rewatch the show almost nonstop. I rewatch it whenever there's a new season coming. I rewatch it after I finish the newest season. I rewatch it in the summer. I rewatch it fall going into winter. Any chance I get. I can't help it. It's my favorite show of all time. They write it so well. And now we finally have a teaser for the 5th season. And there's 2 points I want to talk about, which also relate with each other. There's a scene showing Margot saying we need an end game, and then it doesn't say what that would exactly mean. So I have my theories. I've seen what other people's theories are. So if you watched the finale of the 4th season, you will know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you should probably not listen to what I'm about to say because it's a pretty big spoiler. And then go watch it because it was a beautiful episode. The season 4 finale was beautiful. It was emotional for me. It's just, I love it. I rewatched the episode itself just so many times. And then the sound, that's a whole nother discussion. Anyways, so what happens is Quentin died. you know, who everyone thought was the main protagonist. One, they was obviously pushing to where he wasn't the entire focus of the story anymore. Okay. But whenever Margot says they go on in-game this, you know, people are thinking, oh, that means she's going to try to bring back Quentin. And honestly, it makes sense that they do. Like, especially Elliot, Everett, Julia, Alice, all of them. It makes sense they will try something to bring him back, because that's what's happened in the past. Allison died, they brought her back. Penny died, they kind of kept trying to get him back, even though he still ends up just staying in the underworld. And then they get another timeline, Penny, whatever. So it would make sense if they do another quest, do more stuff to try to bring him back, but they shouldn't actually get him back. If they bring him back, it will just cheapen the death. It'll make everything pointless. And like, it's sad to see him go, but story-wise it makes sense too, because this is going way back. Technically, if you pay attention, Quentin is the first one to die in the show. Whenever, you know, they're in the throne room and they get cursed, Quentin gets killed by Margot. That's the actual first death of the main character group. But even before that, Henry tells Quentin, or he tells someone, I'm pretty sure it's Quentin, every timeline stops and restarts when Quentin dies. He's died in every timeline. And yeah, for this new timeline, it would make sense if he kept going, being alive, but the whole timeline stuff was related beast. That stuff's over. So it would make sense if it's the opposite now. Quentin's the first to die. And I have so many other theories about the deaths in the show and Penny being in Underworld, and it all relates to, like, Penny is kind of like guiding them to the Underworld now, which in my thing is like more of them going to die. There's a whole bunch. I could talk about this forever, like I said, and I do. So this is something I wish I could find more fans and have a podcast or a series of podcasts, a talk show. I don't know. I could talk about this forever. But this is what I really think Margot meant by Endgame. Because if you remember at the end of the season finale, Margot and Elliot are sent to future filler. Like, I believe it was 400 years in the future, with meaning Finn and Josh are also already dead at this point. So I think the end game is referring to that, because obviously they're not going to stay. They have to go back, and they show Finn and Josh in a different scene of the teaser. So I think that's definitely what's going to happen. And honestly, by the way they pace stuff I've seen, I'm pretty sure they're going to go back in time into past filler pretty early in the season, and then, you know, use that to stop whatever's about to happen. But yeah, that's the main things. There's a lot of cool visual stuff you haven't seen in other seasons that are showed in this teaser. But if you haven't watched it yet, you should. I'll include a link to the teaser in the description of this video. But yeah, what else are you watching? Is there something else I mentioned that I was watching that you would want to know more on? Want to talk more about? Walking Dead, Riverdale, Zombo, if there's anyone else who's ever watched it. Daybreak. There's another I thought about doing a more review on. It's the second season of End of the Effing World. I didn't have much to say about it. Like, it was fine. It kept the same tone. It was, the awkwardness is amusing enough, but I mean, that's all you really need to know. But yeah, let's discuss about what else you other nerds are watching. Until then, I'm the AC. Thank you for watching. Bye.